Hi, everyone. This is Ashley with SurrogateFirst, four-time surrogate and intake director. I am looking forward to being able to share one of our amazing providers that we work with and partners. Angela is with Sunfish. She is the co-founder and CEO of Sunfish, supported hundreds of families of individuals and couples pursuing the fertility journey. In addition to personally undergoing egg freezing twice, Angela has graduated from Stanford. And she has been in the infertility field for many years now, I believe, and has a heart for helping others. She also, with graduating from Stanford, has her human biology and sexual health as her focuses, and also business. You are a all-around busy woman.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Ashley. You're right. I definitely love helping people build their families, and I'm really excited to be here with you today.
Perfect. I'm going to share my screen and we'll kind of go over some housekeeping things, what we're going to be covering so that we can help our families to be able to afford surrogacy and understand the process. So this was a little bit about us. I've been with our agency for 5 years. I think we've been open for 5 years, since 2018, and we've been able to help hundreds of families. I'll share a little bit about our agency, and then I would love for you to be able to share a little bit more about Sunfish, and then we will go over a couple things. We're going to be covering the overview of surrogacy, factors that influence the cost, and then how to pay for surrogacy. And I think Sunfish is just so well-rounded that you don't just look at one aspect, but you guys look at the whole picture and help and support a family through the entire process of like affording their surrogacy. So I think that's just amazing. There's not very many providers and partners out there that take the time to get to know their clients and really help what will be best. SurrogateFirst was established back in 2018. We have a team of 15 coordinators and team members through 8 states, and we have helped just about 100 cases last year. So we've been able to help a lot of families. A couple of things that are important to SurrogateFirst is that we want to go the extra mile. We want to over deliver, over communicate. We definitely want to be available with customer service, and if there's any types of emergencies. One of my favorite parts about SurrogateFirst is our no match, no fee policy. So until you have actually completed the process of your surrogate approving her profile, your clinic approving her records, and the match meeting, we don't actually charge anything at that time. Our surrogates are pre-qualified, which just means that we do background checks, drug panels, psychological evaluations, home evaluations, and we try to make sure to find the best surrogates and parents so we can create a beautiful, safe surrogacy for the process. So here's our overview again. We will be covering the overview of the surrogacy process, factors that influence the cost, and how to pay for surrogacy. We want to make sure that everyone understands this recording, or this webinar is recorded. While our participants are not shown on screen, you will be able to get a copy of this. If you were unable to make it to our webinar and you registered, we will be able to share this with you in email. If you would like a copy, if you're on social media, on any of our Facebook, Instagram, or our TikToks, and you see this video and you would like a copy of this to watch, we will be able to share that link with you once we've cleaned it up a little. We like to give it a little bit of a zhuzh. But this is an interactive session, so if there is any questions, I will be trying to watch the Facebook Lives, and I will also be on the webinar. So definitely type in your questions. If we don't get to them at the end and answer everyone's questions, we will make sure to reach out to you and answer those questions at that time. Angela, if someone wanted to get in contact with Sunfish, how would they do that?
Yes, and we'll share a little bit more about us in a minute. The best way is either email at info@joinsunfish.com or to visit our website, joinsunfish.com. We'll also share our phone number and social media at the end as well.
Awesome. We also will be making sure to send out, if you stay to the end of the webinar, we're going to be sending out a quick survey. That's going to help us to understand a little bit more about how we can help you with either Sunfish or SurrogateFirst. Please stay fill that out. You can also book a complimentary consult with us at SurrogateFirst to kind of go over the process, whether you're an intended parent or a surrogate. If you're looking at the cost and want to go more in depth about that. And then obviously Sunfish will always be available to help you with your financing, with the budgeting, and you can book those appointments with them too. So we'll get started. Okay. So the surrogacy process is quite a lengthy one. There are many steps involved with going through this process. We're going to talk about a few steps ahead of the medication and monitoring and transferring. That would be, finding your agency, creating your embryos, and then being on an agency's wait list. Currently, it is looking like there is a 0 to 12-month wait list. For finding the right surrogates at SurrogateFirst, we are closer to about a 3-month wait list. We've had an influx of amazing women who are willing to help grow your family. Once you've done the matching of the surrogate, that would be the items like the profiles we talked about, approving each other's profiles, your clinic approving the records, completing the match meeting. That's when you're going to be introduced to your case manager. And that's usually across the board with all surrogacy journeys. You're going to be introduced to your case manager. They're going to help with the medication and monitorings or the medication and monitoring of the surrogate. They're going to help you with going through the medical screening process, the legal process, and then we get into the planning for transfer. Your agency is really important because they're going to kind of guide you through that. Most agencies are going to require some type of funding and down payments at the time of match. And then after you've completed your legal clearance, you will be responsible for funding fully your escrow. And that can be difficult for some parents. Surrogacy is not the cheapest way to go with growing your family, but unfortunately for some families, this is the only option. And so that's where we're all going to be here for you. Once you've funded your escrow, we'll plan on the medications, the monitorings, the transfers. Your surrogate will be going to ultrasounds and heartbeat confirmations. She'll then be released to your OBGYN or her OBGYN for the remaining amount of the pregnancy. During this process, it is consistent to have that support and that care and that education going throughout the entire journey. Once she's pregnant, we're going to help to monitor all of that, or your agency will help to monitor the process. They're also going to set up your pre-birth order. If you're in a pre-birth order state, they'll walk you making sure delivery runs smooth. Once it's born, you'll be able to be able to family. But there will be medical bills and all those kind of items too. And that's why it's really important to properly budget for your surrogacy, because while there are the costs that we all know about, there can be complications or the birth of the baby or medical bills that can come up, or even bed rest or other items. And so it's great to be able to budget so that way you're not overly stressed when baby is born and unexpected bills come up during that time. If you are interested, and I'm sure that Sunfish, Angela, you may have too, a cost calculator and something to help. Our website does have a cost calculator. You are able to use that. You don't have to be a client of SurrogateFirst. Same thing with Sunfish. You don't have to be a client of SurrogateFirst to be able to work with Sunfish. While we would love to help you, and we want to make sure we're the right fit for you, but you are open and they are available to intended parents. I don't know, Angela, would you like to share a little bit about, about the process of Sunfish and what services you guys provide?
Yes, absolutely. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. So I'm going to talk you through a couple options. Let me know, just wave at me if the connection gets spotty, but it looks like I'm okay for now. I will talk through financial options, specifically diving into when and where to apply for financing, and then other resources and support. Thank you for the great introduction earlier, Ashley. Just to share a little bit more about our organization. So I previously worked at a surrogacy agency where I saw firsthand how many people struggled with being able to afford this process. And so my team and I launched Sunfish to be able to help people financially manage the process of assisted reproduction. And in particular, surrogacy is an area we love helping with because it's just so expensive, so unique, really overwhelming. And our goal at Sunfish is to help equip you with a financial plan and all of the resources necessary to build a family and to actually bring a baby into the world without having incurred a tremendous amount of debt or financial stress. So I'll just talk you through a couple pages here. What are my financial options? There's a handful of tools that you can utilize to move through this process, and I'll share a little bit on each one of those. Insurance, obviously, check to see if you have any coverage. It's harder to get coverage for surrogacy, but for the pieces of like creating embryos, for example, a retrieval on your own biology, that can sometimes be included. Second is employee benefits or student benefits. So some employers do have benefits to support a fertility journey, which we'll talk about in a moment. Financing, obviously, that's our big focus at Sunfish. Our goal is to help you apply for the smallest loan possible by utilizing all of these other tools, because then you're more likely to get approved and more likely to get the best interest rate. Savings and help from family. So we often find intended parents are surprised by how much future grandma and grandpa or aunts and uncles want to help out. So don't be shy to ask. We see a lot of people affording their journey this way. And then lastly, clinic prices do differ. So if you're considering working with clinics in different areas or working with a surrogate in different areas, that can impact price too. So in terms of benefits, just to click on that a little bit more, the most common benefit providers are called Carrot, Progeny. There's a handful of others. We work with one called Frame. And these providers may offer surrogate benefits. They may offer benefits to create embryos. Sometimes they don't even have fertility benefits specifically, but they might have family law benefits that can cover the legal costs. So just check with your employer if you need resources to advocate to your employer to consider adding these benefits. We at Sunfish actually have a couple of resources you can utilize to help you make the case to your employer. So don't hesitate to reach out to us. All our information is on that is free. We're always happy to help.
That's amazing. I just want to point out, I had met a gentleman who one parent advocated to their employer and got the entire company to give an amazing fertility benefit. And it was just one person being able to share their case, and it helped, thousands of employees with their family planning. So it really is something employers want to hear about it. They want to retain their employees and create that good culture. So that's amazing that you guys offer that too.
Thank you. Yes. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, it's always incredible. Like, you might think you're the only one, but maybe other people have asked at your company too. So we definitely encourage people to not be shy about that. And Sunfish pairs really well with any other benefits you may have because our financing options are super flexible. So if after exploring all of those other options, you still need some additional financial support, Sunfish can help. And we see a lot of reasons people look into using financing for their surrogacy journey. Maybe you don't have maybe you do have the full amount and you actually just want to pay over time or not dip into your savings. You don't want to put your 401k or other assets on the line with a traditional loan. We do see rates continuing to rise. Obviously, no one can predict the future and what's going to happen with that, but the best time to apply for a loan is usually now, especially if we expect interest rates to keep rising. You can lock in today's rates. And we also offer some lines of credit, which is a really interesting option for this. So a traditional loan application with us would, take 72 hours, maybe up to a few weeks, depending on what paperwork you need to get together. But once you get the cash, you just have the cash and you can pay for your journey. For this journey, as Ashley explained, the surrogacy process takes a while. We do offer some line of credit options that allow you to be approved for financing, but you don't actually have to withdraw the money for up to 12 months or more in some cases, and you don't have to pay interest on those funds until you actually withdraw them. So that's a really nice flexible option.
That's awesome.
Thanks, Ashley.
I have a lot of parents that are concerned about taking money out of their 401k or taking it out of their investments. because of how long things can take, and surrogacy being a hurry up and wait game where you wait, and then then you're grabbed by the hand and yanked through like the next couple steps. And so being able to have that line of credit of easily accessible definitely lowers the stress levels for parents.
100%. Yeah, that's been a big focus. Like I mentioned, I come from the surrogacy world. The rest of my team comes from health insurance and consumer lending. So we put a lot of thought into the specific products that we create for this unique use case, this unique journey type. Okay, so where to apply for financing? I'll share a little bit about Sunfish as well as other options. We at Sunfish offer a marketplace of low interest loans and lines of credit that are really well suited for surrogacy, IVF, embryo creation, egg donors even. And when you come to our website, you just put in your basic information. It takes about 2 minutes. We will automatically search across an array of different lenders that we work with to help you find the best loan option for you. So that could mean we're able to serve super prime, like people with great credit, high income, all the way down to subprime people with lower credit scores through our marketplace. If you were to start with as small as like a $12,000 loan, that would look something like around $200 a month, just to give an example. We go all the way up to $100,000. Obviously, not everyone will qualify for such a large loan. You have to kind of demonstrate you can make monthly payments. So $100,000 loan, you're going to be looking at maybe a couple $1,000s a month in monthly payments, so more like a mortgage. But that option is there, and we'll kind of talk you through what's the right loan size and amount for you. It's like I said before, it's always better to apply for the smallest loan possible. You're most likely to get approved at the best rate. We see other people using other personal loans. There's a few other companies out there that offer personal loans that would just, be a direct payment to you. But again, Sunfish searches through an array of lenders. So please start with us. And if you can't find anything, we're happy to help. Almost half of our applicants are getting approved for loans. So we have a very high approval rate. And then lastly, we'll see some customers use a credit card to finance their journey. This comes with a lot of pros and cons. Tends to be a very high rate after the first year, but just to be comprehensive, wanted to put that out there as an option as well.
So if someone was using your services and your guys' support, and they wanted to get started, they said, hey, look, these other options are great, but I need someone and that actual support. How would they do that?
If they wanted to apply for a loan through us?
Yeah, if they wanted to work with you.
Yeah, well, that is a great segue to this next slide. So how Sunfish actually works. If someone wants to work with us, you come to our website, joinsunfish.com. I'm sure we'll email our website out to you. We actually have a special co-branded page with Ashley's company, the SurrogateFirst. So you come to our website, you put in your email address, you create an account and put in some very high level information. We do not do a credit check. Your credit score will not be impacted by that initial account creation and inquiry. And our site will automatically present you with a bunch of different financing options just immediately. It takes 2 minutes. If you decide one of those options is attractive to you and you want to go forward with applying for a loan, then there may be a ping on your credit score. So that's just something to keep in mind. But you can see the offers before you decide to move forward and have your credit checked. That's called a hard credit check, but you'll be notified before that process takes place. You'll be able to see what your interest rates and loan size is before you move forward. And then once you move forward, the funds can be added to your bank account in as little as 72 hours. Does that answer your question, Ashley?
Yeah, no, that's perfect. I love how easy and simple it is to work with you guys.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. And then how to apply for financing. So a couple tips, you do need to be residing in the US. So we don't currently work with international intended parents. You do need to have a decent, credit history. This is something that's hard to get a loan for if you have like past missed payments or bankruptcy. So if you're late on any credit card payments, get those up to date. That will always help. You can then check your rate online for free, like we said. And we always advise to make sure you understand all the fees. So with our loans on our marketplace, we do not charge any prepayment penalty fees if you want to prepay early. There tends to be a lot of hidden fees. Some lenders will like have a low interest rate to start that kind of balloons later. We don't offer anything like that, but I just advise everyone, read the fine print. We're here to help if you want to talk through, make sure you know whether or not there's prepayment penalties, origination fees, and any other like changes to your rate once you take out the loan, so you really know what you're getting yourself into. Cool. And then the last page, I just wanted to explain a little bit more about Sunfish overall. So we are really a full service kind of white glove approach to helping people financially plan for parenthood. We do offer a complimentary call with one of our financial advocates if you want to just get started, where we would talk you through these 7 different tools that you can have in your toolbox for affording your family building journey. So we'll help you plan, we help you access financial resources, and we help you reduce the cost. We have a grant and discount database, for example, that will help you work through to see if you qualify for anything. So an initial consultation is free, and then we offer a longer consultation with any of our partners, our family building partners, including SurrogateFirst. So if you wanted to learn more about, and get deeper guidance, that is complimentary to any SurrogateFirst intended parents. So yeah, we'd love to help. I think that's it on our end. If you just click through to the next page, yeah, we're here. If you'd like to contact us, I'll let you kind of wrap up, and then I can go into some frequently asked questions too, if helpful. But we're really excited and would be really honored to build your family with you and with SurrogateFirst.
I would love to touch on, the cost. While surrogacy has always been expensive, as someone who is in the field, I'm seeing the prices of surrogates-based compensation, go up. I'm also seeing, the cost of their monthly allowances, travel cost. Lots of things are coming up, and I'm seeing it, affect families that potentially had their monies saved and enough for their journeys, and now they're finding, that they're short on the entire process. What other costs are you seeing, or the cost of surrogacy are you seeing a trend where it is rising?
It's definitely rising, yes. And that is actually a conversation that we often have with intended parents, as to like, if I don't have all the cash now, should I wait? Should I try to save up? And in our experience, it's actually better to start now, even if you're taking out a loan and a higher interest rate environment, because costs both at surrogacy agencies as well as at IVF clinics, plus the actual cost that the surrogate herself is charging, are all going up about, I would say 10% a year on average is what I'm seeing. I don't know if you'd agree, Ashley.
I would say a little higher was what I've noticed. I've seen an increase of even almost 20% since last year.
Wow.
Unfortunately,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Depending on the city, the surrogate you want to work with, for sure, between 10 to 20%. And so if you're looking at a loan that's like 12, 13% annual interest rate, it's better to start the journey now and just pay that interest rate versus letting the cost continue to balloon. On top of that, if you are using your own biology to create embryos, I know not everyone going through third-party journey does. Every year that you wait decreases your chance of successfully making embryos and increases the cost. So if you wait a year on average, for anyone over the age of 34, you'll have to do 1 additional cycle for every year that you wait, very roughly speaking, to get the same number of healthy embryos. So that is another, $25,000 per cycle that you're adding to your total journey cost if you wait. So yeah, for all of those reasons, we always say, like, start as soon as possible, take out the loan, put down the payments so you can lock in today's prices.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. And it's to start now. I feel for all of our families. They've waited so long to even get to the surrogacy part of their family growing. And hold off another year when there is programs like yours out there that can help them to look at all the different options and to get them financing. There's no time better than now to be able to get that going, and not just because I'm part of this field, but just seeing the trends in the last 8 years. It's it's been hard for our families, and we appreciate partners like you that are willing to help our families to be able to accomplish that dream of holding their baby and growing their family or completing their family. And and it's a scary process, and I love how you guys actually will take them through different steps. It's so much information. When I tell the process and I go into detail with our parents, their eyes kind of glaze over. And then financing is a whole nother portion of trying to figure that out. So we definitely appreciate you guys at Sunfish and all that you offer and the heart you have behind helping families. Would you mind sharing a few of your most common questions that that parents have during this process?
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you. No, and we're really excited to be working with you guys as well. We are selective about the surrogacy agencies that we work with. There's so many out there. And we do our own vetting process before partnering with anyone. So SurrogateFirst is really an outstanding agency and has a great reputation in the industry. Yes, in terms of a couple of the frequently asked questions. So one question we always get, I'll go through a couple on the loan application itself, and then just more generally around financial planning. Can you apply with a co-signer? So can you add someone to your application? Yes, and we highly recommend that. So if you want to apply with a co-signer, someone who can be your primary partner or even like a family member who has a higher credit score and or higher income, that will help your application a lot. So we actually really recommend considering that. 2, when should I apply for financing? Should I start the embryo creation? Should I start the surrogacy journey? Again, soon as possible. For many lenders, you can apply today, get a rate quote, see what your amount is to help you financially plan. Rates are going up, and if you get an offer, you usually have some period of time to actually consider that offer, 30 days, maybe longer, so you can at least get that offer on paper, be ready to go. There's, of course, a chance that rates will continue to go up, but the sooner the better. And in some cases, the loans do take a few weeks. They might have additional questions on your paperwork or, want to see tax returns, payment stubs. So if it's taking a few weeks, then definitely start that process sooner rather than later. 3, can I utilize the funding for any part of my journey? So as Ashley explained, there's a lot of components to the cost of surrogacy. You have to pay the agency, legal fees, insurance, IVF clinic, your own travel to and from the appointments. So yes, you can use this loan for any element of your surrogacy journey. In most cases, we actually will disperse the funds directly to you, to the intended parents. So you can pay your agency, your travel, all of those different expenses as you need. And then lastly, on the actual loan economics, we always get asked, if I apply for a higher loan amount and I don't get approved, like say I ask for $40,000, but the lender only wants to approve me for 25, how will I find that out? So again, try to apply for the lowest amount possible, but in many cases, the lenders on our platform will come back with a counter proposal. If you, apply for 40 and they only want to approve you for 25, they may come back with a counter. You can also reapply on our site with different amounts. So I would play with the website, go through it a few times and see what offer you get. More generally on financial planning for surrogacy, as Ashley mentioned, there are sometimes unexpected costs. Maybe correct me if I'm wrong from your perspective, but maybe your surrogate needs to go back for an additional transfer, or maybe you need to make more embryos. So it's hard to know exactly what that amount is going to be. It's helpful just generally if you're working with an agency or a clinic that doesn't have some sort of guarantee package, just to account for an additional $20,000 or so that you can have as a buffer so that you can navigate those unexpected roadblocks as you go. I don't know if you'd advise a different amount, Ashley.
No, I would definitely recommend 20,000. Most agencies have a minimum balance that needs to be in the escrow after everything has been paid of like 10 to 15,000. So having that 20,000 for unexpected costs would really just be a blessing to be able to not stress over that in the moment. For us, the most important thing is for our intended parents to enjoy the pregnancy, to be part of that pregnancy, and to have that happiness of like getting to these milestones. And when you're worried about finances, it can put a damper on the experience for parents that have been through so much. So being able to have that extra 20,000, even like you said, like maybe a line of credit or having that available approved, I think would really help our families.
Great. Yeah, great. Okay, perfect. Well, that is, I think, the most common questions that we get asked. If people wanted to find us,
Yeah.
and we'll send out our contact information. We're also on all social media platforms at Join Sunfish, and our website is joinsunfish.com.
Yeah, and let me put up our slide again so that they can see and be able to take that information. If you're trying to get a hold of SurrogateFirst, you can always reach out to info at surrogatefirst.com. You can reach out to us at 424-567-3703. Let me share that slide again. You are able to take a picture of this slide and get our intended parent guidebook, which goes over the process in more depth that I touched on earlier, cost estimations. It also goes into a little bit more information about our agency. So yeah, you can reach out to Angela. Her email and phone number are there. And then if you need anything from us, please reach out, or you can email directly to Ashley, ASHLEY at surrogatefirst.com, or any of our social medias. We are available to be able to help with that. Oh, and in the chat, if you're joining us, you'll be able to click directly onto the to the site. For everyone, that's going to be joinsunfish.com/surrogate first. And so that way we all can kind of help you as a team to get you through, this dream of growing your family. We will be touching base every other week with our webinars, and I really appreciate you, Angela. Thank you so much for making the time for us. We appreciate how thought out your presentation is, and how informative it is. I look forward to being able to have more families, go through your program to be able to have their, to have that family that they've always dreamed of. So thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate you.
Thank you, Ashley. We're really excited to work with you as well, and hopefully have the honor of helping anyone here watching this panel build their family too.
Thank you.